the Australian outback, a land of ancient beauty, rugged landscapes, and an unforgiving sun. In August 1980, it became the backdrop for a tragedy that would grip the nation and spark one of Australia's most enduring mysteries. Michael and Lindy Chamberlain, a young couple from Mount Isa, embarked on a camping trip to Uluru with their 3 children, Aidan, Reagan, and 9-week-old Azaria. Ayers rock campground buzzed with visitors from all corners of the globe. The Chamberlains set up their tent amidst the red dust and spinifex grass. Lindy, a devoted mother, tended to her children, their laughter blending with the sounds of the desert night. Little did they know their family vacation would soon transform into a nightmare. As the sun dipped below the horizon on August 17, 1980, the Chamberlains joined fellow campers for an evening meal. Laughter and chatter filled the air as strangers bonded over shared experiences. Lindy, with Azaria nestled in her arms, felt a sense of contentment wash over her. After dinner, the Chamberlains retreated to their tent. As darkness enveloped the outback, the rhythmic chirping of crickets filled the air. Lindy settled Azaria into her portable cot, the baby's eyelids growing heavy with sleep. Suddenly a piercing cry shattered the tranquility of the night. Lindy's maternal instinct surged as she bolted upright, her heart pounding in her chest. Rushing to Azaria's cot, she found it empty, the blanket tossed aside. "My baby! A dingo's got my baby!" Lindy's desperate cry pierced the night, shattering the peaceful stillness of the Ayers rock campground. Fellow campers, jolted from their evening routines, emerged from tents and caravans, drawn by the raw anguish in Lindy's voice. Confusion and concern etched on their faces as they gathered around the distraught mother. Lindy, her eyes wide with fear, recounted the horrifying moment she discovered Azaria missing from her cot. A frantic search commenced. Campers, armed with flashlights, fanned out across the campground, their beams of light cutting through the darkness. They scoured the area surrounding the Chamberlains' tent, their voices calling out Azaria's name. News of Azaria Chamberlain's disappearance spread like wildfire, transforming from a local tragedy into a national obsession. The public, hungry for updates, devoured every detail reported by the media. As the initial shock subsided, a shadow of doubt crept over the investigation. Some questioned the plausibility of Lindy's story. Could a dingo truly snatch a baby from its tent, especially in the presence of so many people? The discovery of Azaria's bloodied jumpsuit, discarded near a dingo lair, sent shockwaves through the investigation. Forensic analysis revealed cuts and tears, seemingly inconsistent with dingo attacks, fueling suspicions of foul play. The public, bombarded with conflicting expert opinions and sensationalized headlines, found themselves torn between belief and suspicion. Australia found itself deeply divided, torn between believing a mother's desperate cries for help or the mounting evidence that pointed towards a more sinister explanation, one that seemed almost too dark to be true. The case of Azaria Chamberlain became a national debate, capturing the attention of the entire country. It acted as a Rorschach test, revealing the nation's underlying prejudices and anxieties, and sparking heated discussions in households and public spaces alike. The media, sensing a story that tapped into the deepest fears of every parent, provided relentless coverage, ensuring that the case stayed in the public eye. On one side stood those who believed Lindy Chamberlain's account, convinced that a dingo had indeed taken her baby. Their faith remained unshaken by the whispers of doubt and the growing skepticism around them. On the other side stood those who questioned Lindy's version of events, finding it hard to believe her story. They pointed to inconsistencies in her testimony and the forensic evidence that seemed to contradict her claims. The forensic evidence in particular raised many questions and doubts about what really happened that night. Whispers of a possible motive swirled through the rumor mill, with theories ranging from the plausible to the outrageous, casting a dark cloud of suspicion over the Chamberlain family and leaving the nation wondering, was it a dingo or deception? The courtroom became a stage for a drama that gripped the nation. Lindy Chamberlain, once an ordinary mother, thrust into extraordinary circumstances, now found herself at the center of a media frenzy. The prosecution, armed with circumstantial evidence, painted a picture of a cold, calculating woman who had silenced her baby and concocted a story to cover her tracks. The defense team fought tirelessly to present Lindy as a victim, a grieving mother wrongly accused. They presented expert testimony challenging the forensic evidence, arguing that the dingo was indeed capable of snatching a baby from its tent. The jury wrestled with the conflicting evidence. The prosecution's case, though largely circumstantial, played upon the public's deeply ingrained fears. The guilty verdict, delivered on October 29, 1982, sent shockwaves through Australia and beyond. Lindy Chamberlain, convicted of murdering her baby daughter, was sentenced to life imprisonment. Behind bars, Lindy Chamberlain refused to be silenced. She maintained her innocence, her spirit unbroken despite the overwhelming weight of her conviction. Her case became a rallying cry for those who believed in her story. Years turned into decades, but Lindy's fight for justice continued. Her supporters worked tirelessly to uncover the truth. Lindy, despite the harsh realities of prison life, never gave up hope. In a twist of fate, a tiny piece of clothing, lost in the vast expanse of the outback, resurfaced to rewrite the narrative of the Chamberlain case. This seemingly insignificant item would become a pivotal piece of evidence, altering the course of history. Years after Azaria's disappearance, a chance discovery near a dingo lair sent shockwaves through the legal system. The implications of this find were profound, challenging the established beliefs about the case. The item, a small matinee jacket identical to the one Azaria was wearing on the night she vanished, emerged from the red dust. This jacket, weathered by time, held the key to unraveling the mystery that had gripped the nation. The jacket, bearing the unmistakable signs of a dingo attack, stood as a powerful testament to the truth. These marks provided undeniable evidence of what had truly transpired that fateful night. The discovery of the jacket breathed new life into Lindy's fight for justice. It reignited hope and provided a new avenue for her legal team to explore. It provided tangible evidence to support her claims, casting serious doubt on the prosecution's case. This newfound evidence was a game-changer, shifting the balance in Lindy's favor. The nation now grappled with the possibility that an innocent woman had been wrongly convicted. This revelation sparked widespread debate and called for a re-examination of the entire case, highlighting the flaws in the judicial process. The discovery of Azaria's matinee jacket forced a reassessment of a case that had captivated and divided the nation. In 1986, after years of tireless campaigning by her supporters and mounting pressure from new evidence, Lindy Chamberlain walked free from prison. Her release, while a victory against a miscarriage of justice, did not erase the years of pain, loss, and separation from her family. The shadow of suspicion, though diminished, still lingered. The fight for complete exoneration was far from over. Lindy endured countless interviews, public scrutiny, and the reopening of old wounds, determined to set the record straight. The case continued to spark debate and fuel legal reforms. The fight to clear Lindy's name became synonymous with the pursuit of justice itself. Decades after Azaria Chamberlain's disappearance, advancements in forensic science offered a new lens through which to examine the evidence. DNA technology, a tool unavailable during the initial investigation, emerged as a beacon of hope. In 2012, a fourth inquest into Azaria's death was convened. The DNA analysis revealed that the bloodstains, once attributed to Azaria, were, in fact, a common anti-rust compound used in car manufacturing at the time. This revelation shattered a cornerstone of the prosecution's case. The dingo, once a convenient scapegoat, now stood as the most likely culprit. The tragic case of Azaria Chamberlain left an indelible mark on the Australian psyche, forever changing the way the nation viewed its legal system and the media's role in high-profile cases. The Chamberlain case exposed the deep flaws in a legal system that could be easily swayed by public opinion, media frenzy, and circumstantial evidence. The intense media coverage created a biased narrative that influenced public perception and judicial proceedings. It highlighted the dangers of prejudice, showing how preconceived notions and societal biases could taint the pursuit of justice. The case underscored the critical importance of due process and the need for an impartial legal system. In the aftermath of the Chamberlain case, the Australian legal system underwent significant reforms aimed at preventing such miscarriages of justice. These changes were designed to ensure fairer trials and more reliable verdicts. The introduction of double jeopardy laws, the right to silence, and the use of DNA evidence revolutionized criminal proceedings. These reforms provided stronger protections for the accused and improved the accuracy of criminal investigations. The case served as a stark reminder that the pursuit of justice is an ongoing process, requiring constant vigilance and adaptation to new challenges and technologies. The legacy of Azaria Chamberlain extends far beyond the courtroom, influencing legal practices and public awareness about the justice system. Her story continues to spark debate and discussion, ensuring that her memory and the lessons learned from her tragic fate live on. The case remains a poignant example of the need for a fair and just legal system.